I don't think the Nigerian government are terrible. I think they are horrible, wicked, and heartless. To think that some Nigerians are attacking Raya, apologies if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, the couple who came out to cry out of frustration. Ignorance is indeed a disease. Because I can't seem to understand why some people have come to accept that struggling to feed is a normal part of life. I personally jackpot from Nigeria in 2020, and the difference between the standard of living in Nigeria versus where I am cannot even be compared, despite this is a country that doesn't have half the resources that we have in Nigeria. Amongst the numerous things we can talk about, let's talk about minimum wage. The minimum wage here is 13 euros 50 cents, and if you work 8 hours per day for 5 days, you'll be earning around 1,700 euros per month after tax. On such minimum wage, if you have kids, you get some extra benefits from the government, like childcare allowances per child, and you could even apply for some housing benefits that would relieve you of part of your rent. Now, I'm not saying life here is perfect, but the government policies actually put into consideration the actual cost of living. So for anyone who is not lazy and is willing to work, you would at least be able to afford the minimum. At least feeding and a shelter over your head is assured from the minimum wage. Now, let's talk about the actual cost of foodstuff compared to the income. How much is full chicken? 4 euros. With another 4 euros, you get enough tomatoes to make a pot of stew. Milk goes for 1 euro 25 cents. Bread, 2 euros. Cooking oil uncle, 4 euro 50 cents. Which means with 15 to 20 euros, you can eat comfortably for 2 days, which is 2 hours of work on minimum wage, meaning you have the rest to save for your rent or other grocery shopping. Now, compare that to Nigeria's proposed minimum wage of 70,000 naira. How much is rice? How much is oil? How much is a kilogram of chicken in Nigeria? Maggi, salt, onions. That's already over 5,000 naira gone. 70,000 naira per month for minimum wage equals 3,500 naira per day. So after spending 5,000 naira, which is more than a whole day's work, how do you expect the people to feed? How do you expect them to save for their rents? How do you expect them to pay their children's school fees? How many schools are free? Do we have free education in Nigeria? Over here, education is free. You don't have to pay. Unless you feel like you have the money and you want to put your kids in private school. But the free education in Nigeria, is that not what VDM is still trying to see how we can fix the classrooms? And yet, when people cry and they dare call out the government, some people will come out and be talking rubbish. They have the audacity to threaten them. Instead of us to stand together and see that the government does what they are supposed to be doing. The fact that we cannot come out to cry or express our feelings anymore is a deep problem that needs to be addressed. Let's be real. The government is pushing girls to become oloshus, the guys to do rituals or yahoo. Because how can someone who is working full-time not be able to afford to feed, pay their rent, or pay their children's school fees? What do you expect such a person to do? And you know what hurts the most? Nigeria has everything needed to be great. We have one of the best weather in the world. We have the population, we have the resources, yet we're all forced to run to other countries that do not have the resources or brain power that we have in Nigeria. We contribute to their greatness. We work hard. We build their economies. And yes, they pay us well. A comfortable life and peace of mind. But I will give up half of what I'm earning here to go back to Nigeria if only Nigeria was safe. But how can I return to a country where my primary concern will be my safety? How can I go back when every day my number one prayer is that my family members over there are safe, when life itself is not guaranteed? If anything happens to anybody, what is the guarantee that there will be justice for the person? Enough is enough. We all have to stand up and fight this fight because we elected these people there, and so they are accountable to us. Enough is enough.